from light to serious, Ryan Cross from Cross Functional is going to talk about Drupal and the Queensland floods response.
Hi, so hopefully I won't make too many of the same mistakes that the last presentation talked about. My name is Ryan Cross, and I'll be talking about the Queensland flood website that we set up with a couple of other people as well. The title is going from 0 to 1 million in less than 24 hours. So to give you a bit of background, Queensland earlier this year had a really devastating flood. We had 35 confirmed deaths, we had over 200,000 people affected, $10 billion estimated damages, and we've got a $30 billion estimated loss to the national GDP. This is just a picture of some of the stuff that was happening. The interesting thing was that the government site actually crashed, and so people couldn't actually get information that they needed, and there were too many disparate sources of news and information for people to get that source, that information. People also really saw the need to volunteer their services, but weren't actually getting the details that they wanted to. So we started it Tuesday. We had another person asking to start building stuff. Around 12, we started actually getting a little bit of traction. So we continued to actually build stuff. Around 11 o'clock at night, we had an announcement. We had an announcement that we were going to be featured on CNN in 2 hours. We were really surprised. We were like, oh, what are we going to do? So in less than 2 hours, we were like, okay, this is really great. How are we going to actually cope with this? So we had a cPanel managed server. We had a bunch of other client sites running. We had kind of maxed out the resources that we could cap, and we had a system that gave me, say, here's Redactus, good luck. I was like, all right, well, I started running around, a bunch of urgent calls, called Acquia, called my other Drupal developers. A lot of people basically said, we can do that, but not in less than 2 hours. So we had Varnish come to the rescue. We didn't have a press flow for 7. We didn't have a dev site testing time or anything else. We had it come down with no downtime during the CNN feature, and at the end of the day, we had 1.3 million hits. I was pretty impressed with that. So we survived, but we couldn't actually keep this up. We ended up moving to a system where we ended up having a single load balancer, 5 web nodes, and a single database server. That was all built in the Wednesday morning and switched over. So we said, okay, and that actually was surprisingly good. The features that we actually already had, you can see there's just some screenshots. We basically were having a front page of news. We were aggregating news from, I don't know, about 30 different news sources, as well as pulling in video, images, maps. The big feature was actually being able to allow people to register their open beds, as well as being able for people to get access to those contact details so they could actually find emergency accommodation. Once we actually started the initial traffic spike, we tried to actually build a lot more features. So we started improving the beds feature. We were getting a call center coordinated, and I had to build an admin interface for them, as well as getting a mobile interface set up, mapping, doing more media integration, and getting some refactoring done on this. So here's a bit of a screenshot of some of the features we built. You can see the mobile interface, the map interface, and there's a screenshot of some of the admin interface for the call centers. A lot of that was also permission control based, so that it could be restricted. We had a really interesting team evolution as well. So initially Tuesday morning it was just 2 people, kind of starting to build stuff and getting traction. By Tuesday afternoon, we realized that I needed more people, so I pulled on some of my team and also expanded out to some people in the community. The 2 people on in orange are helping with the content, whereas the green is more development and technical. By Tuesday evening, we actually had more people. The people in blue were helping us actually coordinate some of the community aspect and moderating a lot of the content. We expanded further with the development team and started to actually kind of have an ad hoc structure on stuff. By Thursday, 2 days later, we were required to actually have a lot of structures, kind of still very ad hoc and loose, but we needed structure to actually continue the coordination. We ended up having about 40 plus people actually coordinating on the team directly. And a week from launch, we had about 7 million page views, 150,000 unique visitors every day. We had over 5,000 people that had volunteered beds, 5,000 beds volunteered by 100,000 volunteers. Some big lessons for us were that we probably shouldn't have used D6. Kind of in an untested environment, it was hard, but Drupal 7 was a real success. Keep in mind this was also only about 2 weeks after, or less than a week after Drupal 7 had actually been released. And this is a thank you to everybody. Sorry I was a bit lost.